Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. If you don't know, my name is Rachel. I'm a self-published author and a small business owner, and today is going to be a writing vlog. Today is Saturday, January 25th. Normally, I think I'm going to film these vlogs like Mondays and Tuesdays, but this week is a little bit different because if you have watched previous videos or followed me on Instagram, you know that I have a very close loved one who just had surgery yesterday. And so they are hopefully going to be discharged on Monday. So my Monday and Tuesday this week are going to be kind of funky. So I thought I would film just basically whenever I end up working on the book over the weekend, because this weekend is just weird. This week is just weird. So I guess I should explain. So if you don't know like my publishing journey or whatever, I'm not going to give like a really long thing, but I started in 2021 is when I started working on it. Published my first book January 27th of 2022. So Monday is actually my third 3-year anniversary. I have published 9 books so far, working on number 10. This is the second book in a series. So the series is a series of standalone fairy tale retellings, and it's called The Poets of Once Upon a Time. The poets are kind of like enchanters and enchantresses, that kind of thing. And the first book was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and then this book is going to be a retelling of Bluebeard and Puss in Boots, which Puss in Boots is probably my favorite fairy tale. Yeah, probably my favorite fairy tale like retelling to read, so I'm really excited about this one. And the 2 main characters are characters who were in the first book, so they're characters that like readers will recognize. So if you haven't read the first book, you should check it out. We are at 41 reviews right now on Amazon. If we get to 50, if you didn't know, if a book gets to 50 reviews on Amazon, Amazon starts marketing it for you because they realize, oh, people are buying it. So 50 reviews is a big deal because it means your book starts, not all the time, but traditionally it starts selling better, which, you know, when you're trying to make enough money to eat, it's helpful. So anyway, read the book, review the book. If you don't want to write a review, if you read it on Kindle, either on the app or on a Kindle, when you get to the last page, a pop-up will show up being like, hey, do you want to rate this book on a, star scale of 1 to 5? You can just press the stars. You don't have to write a review, and it will that will count as a review on Amazon though, and it will up my star rating, or any author star rating you want to do that for, and you don't have to write the review, but it only works on ebooks. So you should do that. That's just a PSA for any, especially indie authors that you read. Do that. If you don't want to write a review, you don't have to, but just get to the end of the ebook and press the stars. It's very helpful. So that being said, that's the book I'm working on right now. I've been doing all kinds of approaches to plotting. I started out with just writing down like ideas, different notes, scene ideas, daydreams that I had. For me, I daydream scenes a lot, either in the shower or the car. For whatever reason, those are my places. And like I wrote down all my notes and stuff, and then I took all of those ideas, which I didn't have a ton. Usually I don't have a ton of scene ideas, like maybe like 7 or 8. And I made a little 3-act structure, which if you don't know what a 3-act structure is, it's basically like, you know how like a play has act 1, act 2, act 3, it's that. It's basically just act 1, act 2, and act 3, they separate the different types of events that happen. And if you want to get really particular about it, I like to do this on Helping Writers Become Authors as a website. And if you go on there, it shows you not just the 3-act structure, but the percentage marks. So like, for instance, the midpoint is the middle of a book and it's at the 50% mark, or the climax is, of course, the most exciting moment of the book and it's at a certain percent mark. And there are different moments, like there's the first plot point, the pinch point, all these different things that, you don't have to follow this, but it is kind of like a recipe, and it helps me personally to craft the plot, and because it just helps the pacing, because most stories follow a somewhat similar structure of the way that they flow, and it just makes the pacing feel better. So I utilize that a lot, and so I started out just like putting my little ideas onto the 3-act structure, just where I thought they might fit. And then I tried like 15 different ways to do this. So this is my 3-act structure. So there's Act 1, Act 2, Part 1, Act 2, Part 2, and Act 3. Act 2 is the biggest part. So I split it up into 2 sections because it's just easier for me that way. And then I just started coming up with ideas, putting them on sticky notes and cutting them up so they'd take up less space and I could kind of move them around really easily. But that didn't get me very far. I had issues really quickly with that. But I am a plotter, so I need to know what I'm doing before I can start writing. Otherwise, I just get writer's block. So I set that aside because that wasn't really working. And I started instead, I am able to basically predict where my chapters are going to fall based on previous books. So I know that my last like 3 full-length novels have been about between 36 and 38 chapters long. So that so that tells me that this next book is probably going to be about that long. And so I estimated at 38. Then what I can do is, like, for instance, the call to adventure is 12%. So I would just do 0.12 times 38, and that tells me that it falls at 4.56. So I could decide chapter 4 or chapter 5, whichever one felt better when I started writing it, or started like plotting / outlining. So I did that process, and that was doing okay, but I was just having a hard time with it, which I think is mostly because I'm a very tactile person. I like paper. I know not everybody loves paper anymore. I love paper. So what I did, something I did to write my first finished trilogy, was I made just these little printouts where it's a little square to put your little sticky notes, to put like the mini sticky notes. And I wrote my scene ideas on the little sticky notes and put them in the appropriate square. And so that's what I did with this one, or am doing with this one. I'm doing it again. When I did it for my first trilogy, the problem that I had was that I would write like 1 sentence, and that was not enough to write the entire chapter on. So then I would later on, as I went through writing that book, after I was done with the first draft, I had so much plot editing it wasn't funny because I hadn't fully outlined. So this time we have a visitor. What are you doing? You say hello. Are you beautiful? Marshall. You're so handsome. You want to smell the camera? This is Marshall, for those of you who don't know him. This is Daisy. Yeah, you wagging your tail? Yeah. I know. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is writing down my like chapter idea on a sticky note and sticking it in the appropriate place that I think it'll go. And I'm working chronologically because I feel like that helps me to understand the flow of the story better. And what I'm doing is just like, as you can see, I am writing down whenever I get to a particular plot point, like the call to adventure, the midpoint, whatever. So that way I can know where we're at with the pacing. If I had forgotten what that meant, the inciting incident, I would go, okay, a turning point occurs halfway through the first act. This is the call to adventure, the moment the normal world is first significantly rocked by the conflict. So basically doing this process is a way to pre-outline. So it's kind of like a mini outline, and it allows me at a bird's eye view to see what the pacing really looks like. I'm 18 scenes in, or 18 chapters in out of 38. What I've been doing is I've been playing the, so I go to Entered Academia's page right there, and she has a boatload of different themed aesthetic videos, and they're Pomodoro. So like she'll have like 25 minutes of like this really like calming, beautiful scene, and then after the 25 minutes or whatever, it'll go to this break scene. So there's different ones. Some of them are 25-minute work sessions, some of them are 45-minute work sessions. I love them because she has different ones for different like aesthetics, and so I'm doing a spring one right now. So that's been helping to not have anything else on. So that's what we're doing right now. My hope is to get done with this tonight and start outlining. I want to do the outline on note cards, 1 color for each person's point of view, and I'm gonna take you guys along, so let's do it.
Follow me to my
so it's now 9:53 p.m. I got to chapter 30. I worked a little bit on chapter 32 also. So I just have 31, 33. So I have chapter 31 and then 33 through 38 to do. So almost done, but it's almost 10 and I'm gonna have to get up early tomorrow to get up to the hospital. The surgery was it really just yesterday? It was just yesterday. But their blood pressure has been really, really low and they're having a really hard time getting it back up. So they've been in the ICU since yesterday afternoon. Long story short, I didn't get done what I wanted to today, but I did get a lot done on the book, which is good. So anyway, I'm gonna stop for tonight. I'm gonna clean up my stuff. What are you doing? You guys have to see this. This is my second form. What are you doing? I think you just hate the world. I hear you wagging your little patootie booty. Oh, Day Day, you're precious too. Okay. Part of me is tempted to take my binder. This is my my binder for this book. Isn't the dashboard for this one so pretty? I felt like it went with the vibe of like fairy tale retelling really nicely. I made this like writing Bible. I made a version of it ages ago and then I remade it. And I really like it. It's very pretty. But I just like haven't used it yet. Like I haven't started utilizing it, and part of the reason is because these pages I accidentally ordered on like this is one page. Like this is like a dashboard thickness. I don't know why I ordered them this thick. So it's kind of a pain to utilize, so I want to use it, but it's also just too freaking thick. So I'm thinking of reordering it in the correct thickness rather than doing it on this one and then having to redo it later, because it would also fit a lot better in the binder if the pages weren't so freaking thick. How much would it cost? Let's find out. I don't remember how much I paid for these. The writing Bible. It's really hot in here. Why is it so hot in here? I actually have a coupon from them. I might also download my budget Bible, because if I'm gonna get a coupon, I might as well order more than one thing at a time, right? Where did I put that coupon? I don't know what I did with it. It's right here. Oh, I missed the debt. Are you kidding me? It expired on the 13th. Well, poop on you. Oh, hello, sir. Oh, hello. That's not that bad. $12 for shipping. $24 for 2 planners. Should I do it? Should I bite the bullet and do it? I really shouldn't. I didn't budget for this, but it is the end of the month, which means that I could just take it out of next month's paycheck. I try not to do that, but it's whatever. Now, the other question is, should I pay $3 extra to get it 4 days sooner? Yes. I understand, yes. Do all the things, place the order. Place the order before I change my mind. Do it. So I just ordered 2 planners, so that's cool. Alright, I'm in it. Let's do it. Okay. Anything else from in here? Do you think I need anything else in here? So I'm gonna go put this stuff in a backpack and go to bed, and I will check in tomorrow at some point as I slowly accomplish things. So good night. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay. So today is the next day. It is Sunday. I swear, I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's Sunday the 26th. I didn't film today at the hospital. Like obviously I wasn't gonna film like the hospital or anything, but like I was just gonna like show you guys if I worked on anything. I did work a little bit for like maybe a half an hour, and I now have 4 scenes technically to do still. I didn't get any note cards done at all. It was a very long day. I particularly am having a bit of a hard time just because seeing my loved one in a bed like this and not being able to talk to them about all of this because they're going through it, so I can't exactly be like, hey, I'm stressed. Like, they're very stressed. They don't need my stress right now. So it's just been like making me face their mortality a lot, and like, oh my gosh, this is what's gonna be like when they die, is I won't have them to talk. Like, it's I don't know, it's been a whole thing. So anyway, yes, I know you want loves. You're very rude today though, so we're not really friends. He stole a bone from his poor sister, and when I tried to take it back from him, he ran away. Anyway, so I think what I'm gonna do is pull up a timer, like a Pomodoro video that's just a Pomodoro video that just like counts down the clock for you, and then have that one on a separate tab, and then have the video, like the pretty ambiance one, like in the forefront. Because if I have to, like, I like the Pomodoro method, but I'm terrible at setting the timers. I will not consistently do it. So to have a video that already does it for you so that I don't have to do anything except press play would be great. And then I'm gonna finish my little sticky notes, and then we're gonna start doing the note cards. Okay, so I am officially done plotting, and I thought that I would just give a quick overview of what this looks like. So I have my little squares, and then I went ahead and I wrote the numbers next to them so that I could just at a glance see what box I was in rather than having to like wait and see the box. I'm actually thinking, this is such a basic printout, but I'm actually thinking that I might put this, like add the numbers to it, and then maybe add like a key for the names of the different plot points, like at the top, and then put it as like a newsletter freebie. So if you sign up for the newsletter, you'd get it as a freebie. I think I might do that. So anyway, above each like plot point that aligns with like a specific type of plot point, like the call to adventure, I wrote that down here, 12% call to adventure. And again, I did the math by just going, okay, I think I'm gonna have 38 chapters. I might have 37, I might have 36, it doesn't matter a ton, but just so I can roughly estimate where the 12% mark is going to be, I would just do 0.12 times 38. So that helped a lot, so I did that. And then from this point, I'm going to get out my note cards, and I'm going to use one color per POV, because it's just easier for me to decide, like to see at a glance whose point of view this is, because I can tell by the color of the note card. I'm going to fill up the entire note card for each scene. I might use front and back for each note card, and I will probably write small, honestly. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue my Pomodoro, put my aesthetic video back on the screen, and we're going to get to doing these flipping note cards. If it kills me. I think I'm going to put, right now, I have Sad Songs in a Hotel Room on my record player. If you have not listened to Joshua Bassett, fix that. Fix that immediately. Like, I just discovered him in like October, and I'm completely obsessed. Completely. I actually discovered him on Halloween, which I love Halloween, so I feel like that says something. But he doesn't have Golden Years on vinyl yet though. Joshua, if you ever see this, what's the plan, man? Are you gonna put the Golden Years on vinyl? Because I kind of need it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, because it's already on the record player right now, I think I'm gonna play it, and then once it's done, because it will be done pretty quickly because it's short, I think I'm gonna put in my Hosier. I don't know how you say it. So we're gonna do Sad Songs in a Hotel Room, and then I'm gonna do Unearth Unheard, and that's gonna be the vibe for tonight because I'm feeling the moody. I'm feeling the moody. And if I do Spotify, I will get distracted skipping songs. That's what we're gonna do. Let's do it. This is the best part of this record player though, is that I don't have to move the needle or open the thing at all. I just
come dance in my glow. Fireflies in the yard, everything's a work of art. Already got everything we need to dance in the glow. It's always in my head, can never get enough. That summer feeling left.
Okay, so I just had a panic because I put it on. It's completely warped. The vinyl is completely warped. And I had a panic attack because I was like, oh no, this is my outdoor office. I'm like, oh no, is it because it's out here? Like, are all of my vinyls gonna be trash now because they're in the outdoor office? I mean, it's insulated, like I've got an insulated ceiling, insulated walls, I got a space heater in here, like they should theoretically be fine. But I was like, oh my gosh, what if they aren't fine and they're like damaged? And so I just checked Adele and she's fine. And she's been in here for the same amount of time as he has. So I was like, okay. A consensus has been reached. Some people are very finicky about their vinyls, but most people who've been storing records for like decades and are very experienced are like, yeah, you don't need to worry about temperatures unless you're going to get to like 140-degree heat. You're fine. They're not going to warp. Just stack them to where they're all flat and you should be totally fine. So I don't know what happened to that one. Maybe I bent it somehow at some point because apparently it wasn't the heat that did it. Or maybe it was I have no idea what happened to it because I used to listen to it. But regardless, I guess Hosier is out now. But the rest of my vinyls are fine. And it is not my fault. Or I guess it's not the heat or the cold's fault that the vinyl was warped. So that makes me feel better because I was panicking for a second. Now that we went down that rabbit hole of unnecessary information, I'm going to actually get my butt back to work now. Because I've written one chapter card. Front and back. And then I'm also... I want to hole punch them. I forgot about that, so that's okay. I will rewrite this one on a new one. That's because this is totally gonna ruin it. It's gonna get hole punched. I'm gonna do that. So it is now 9:43. I'm gonna go to bed. I had big dreams of getting, for whatever reason in my head, I thought, oh yeah, I'll get like at least halfway through the outlining. I got chapter 1 done. I mean, I did finish the entirety of the sticky notes, so that's good. But there's no way I'm gonna get done with all of these tonight, because I don't think I'm sick. I just think that the stress is making me have like headaches and stuff, and I have a headache and I have a stomach ache, and I'm like, you know what, I can always work on this again tomorrow night, and then Tuesday we'll just see. We're gonna just play it by ear. We're playing it by ear. This week is just not going to go the way I thought it would, which is fine. There are bigger things in life, but it does not make me happy. I also think I might be starting my period. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night for tonight because I am really tired and I think I'm better off to just go ahead and go to bed and then start fresh tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day. Obviously, no, it's not the next day. It's Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Obviously, I look a little bit different. My eyebrows need to be microbladed. Look at the yellow, because they took off the remaining pigment. Today, I did not feel like filling them in. So this is what we get, is all natural, Rachel. I was watching a Therachelhey video earlier. If you don't know who she is, she's a writer. Very successful author who also does like a lot of videos on like how to publish, how to be motivated, all that kind of stuff. She has some courses that I've taken that are really good. A lot of people sell you a lot of junk. She sells you genuine information. And I've done her HB90 course before, like 3 times, which it's a course where you plan your year, but you plan it in quarters. And so I was thinking of maybe doing it today. The HB90 course is in videos, and I don't think I need to rewatch all the videos because I've done the course like 3 times. So I think I just like kind of like skim through the videos, and I think I could probably do all of it between today and tomorrow. Not as like I'm trying to get it done today and tomorrow. I just don't think it will take me very long. Because I know my limits and I know what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of, I know pretty well what limits to set for myself or what things I should set for myself. So I feel like doing goals this time around makes a lot of sense for me. Because with my depression the last like 9 months or whatever it's been now, I need some motivation and some like clear, concise goals because it gives me something to really push myself forward. The first task is I'm gonna eat something and clean, and we're gonna work really quickly to get it done. That's the plan right now. Okay, it is now 3 o'clock. Yes, I'm wearing a towel. Sorry, not sorry. I decided to stop cleaning. I'm so deeply tired right now. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm torn. Part of me is like, well, maybe I should nap just for like 20 minutes. And the other part of me is like, it's a waste of time, Rachel. But I think I might nap for 20 minutes, set a timer, put my blanket on my legs real quick, and then just like lay my head down and nap for like 20 minutes. Just a little pick me up. And then I'm going to do, start the HB90 stuff right now.
And you tell me that you're doing fine. Morning color lights up, pulls you right on through the door. So hold onto all that feeds your soul. I know a place where the sun shines every day. So come with me, and I'll take you there. I'll take you there. Coloring outside the lines.
Okay, it's 5:40 p.m. I don't know what I said last. I really don't. So I did do some of the HB90, so I was just going to go over real quick what I did. I am kind of simplifying it for myself because I know the system very well. If I was going to start out fresh, I would say just pay for the course and do the whole thing because it is beneficial to do the whole thing. But since I've done it 3 times now, there's a lot I already know about myself and how I function with this system. So that's why I'm simplifying it for myself, is because I've done it so many times. That being said, so in the HB90 course, goals basically are built around projects. So you decide all these projects you want to get done throughout the year, and then you pick the ones you're going to do during this quarter because you can't do all of them. And you build your goals for the year based on what projects you have, and those projects kind of like fall under the umbrella of a goal, which I like that concept. But for me, I prefer to do it in categories because I don't like to use numbers. So for me, I'm going to have a writing category, a small business category, and a personal category. Those are going to be my 3, and then these projects are going to be listed under those categories. And then she has you do a brain dump. This is not like step by step what she has you do. She has you do a lot more than this, but the next step that I did was the brain dump, where you literally just write down every single thing that comes to mind that you want to get done that has to do with any of your like goals or categories. And then what you do is she has these 4 different categories. So an item on the list that moves you forward toward your like overall goal of life, that has low short-term rewards, meaning that in the next like 6 months you're not really going to see a reward from this. This one is it moves you forward toward that life, and it is a high short-term thing. So meaning that in the next like 6 months you're going to see either the completion of it or the reward from it or whatever. And then this one is it does not move you towards your overall life plan, and it does not have short-term completion or reward, and then it does not move you toward your overall life plan, or dream or goal or calling, but it does have high short-term reward. I have a bunch that are the green and the like silver is what most of these are. So now I'm going to go into the next step, which I'll tell you guys what that is in a minute once I do it. It is officially 10:20 p.m. I am so my dad came home and got to talking. My loved one is still in the hospital. We have no news on when they will be released. They have, however, been moved out of ICU, so that's good. But we still just don't really have any answers. So I didn't get done as much as I wanted to, which is fine. That's just life these days. Whatever. But let me go ahead and show you what I did do. And the next step was writing out, and like if you do the HB90 course, she gives you printouts of all this stuff. I just didn't want to print it all out again. I don't have that much energy. And so she has like this printout of the week where it's like, it has on hers, it's all 7 days. It has columns for each day, and on the side it has the hours, and then it's on a grid. So each hour has 2 little squares, and so each little like rectangle of space equals a half an hour, which is Pomodoro method is, you break everything up into half an hour segments or 25-minute segments, and you take 5-minute breaks in between. And so I just did Monday through Friday because I've made a rule for myself that Saturdays and Sundays are not technically work days. If I get to work those days, that's just bonus. I don't plan on it anymore because I used to, and things would come up and I wouldn't get to work as much as I thought I would, and so it's just more stressful. So I'd rather have Saturdays and Sundays be bonus days, and if I get to work those days, great, I'm ahead of the schedule. After I drew the little grid, I went in and I wrote down things that I do every day. So for instance, I do the treadmill first thing in the morning for an hour. So those things I put in for every single day because it's the same every day for me. And then different days are different things. So every other week I have therapy. And then every other week I have a meeting with friends. And so they're usually opposite weeks. So they both take up about the same amount of time. So I was able to just basically count 1. And then after 4 blocks, I put a squiggly line for a break in between, so I can go make lunch or grab a snack or whatever. Yeah, which I counted it all up, and all these task blocks, I got 64 task blocks per week, which equals 31 hours a week. I counted through February and March, because that's quarter 1 is January, February, March, and I'm late doing this. So I went through February, March, and allotted for any appointments that I have, any trips or anything like that, and took off extra task blocks for anything that's going on there. So for the rest of quarter 1, I have 550 task blocks left, which means I have 275 hours of work time that I could potentially work on work, because that's what I mean by all of these task blocks that have an arrow in them. Those are task blocks that I'm going to work during. So I added all of those up per day and then per week, and that helped me figure out how much I'm going to have for the entire quarters. And then I went through all of those projects that I had written down, and I organized them by category, so writing, small business, and health. And then I went through all of those projects. Like one of them is update backlist, which just means like update all of my previous published books, and wrote down all of the tasks that need to get done. So for instance, update the font size in my Ghost Only Haunts Your Favorite Vampires. The font size in my books doesn't all match in paperback version, so I want to make sure it all matches. Update front and back matter, which means like the part where it talks about the author, the part where it lists all my previous books, that kind of stuff. This is something that I have liked about HB90 that I've just had a hard time figuring out how to make it work for me, is writing down every single step. Like not from like turn on computer, click on box, but like all of these steps, like, you know, update font size, update back matter. Doing all of that, A, means that I don't miss anything, because when there's a lot to do, it's easy to miss steps. And B, for this process, because the next step is going to be figuring out time, it forces you to be honest about how long something is actually going to take you, which forces you to go, oh shoot, I don't have time for all of this. Therefore, I have to cut stuff. Which means you have more reasonable and realistic expectations for yourself. I did that for all of my quote-unquote projects, and then you add it up. It's going to take me 42 task blocks, roughly, to finish Publish and Thrive. And then once we're done with that, I can add up all of it, see how many task blocks it all is, and then go, okay, I only have 550 task blocks left in the quarter that are available for me to spend on work. How am I going to make this work? Normally, what I do is, or what you're supposed to do, is create a Kanban board, which is where you take all these little tasks that you decided on and all the ones that were going to fit into your quarter's task block amount of time, and you would write each one on a sticky note, and then you layer them on top of each other based on projects. Like all of the ones for my fairy tale retelling would go in one column together, and you would layer them on top of each other so that a little bit of the sticky note underneath peeks out, and the earliest one, like the thing you need to do first, would be on top, so that when you're done you take it off and the next step is revealed underneath it. I had 2 issues with this. Number 1, it meant that I could not see future steps because they were covered by the current step. That bothered me. I did realize that I could write them, like write the step at the very bottom of the sticky note so that it would peek out underneath the previous one, which made me feel a little bit better. But my other issue is that it does take up a lot of space, and I don't know, I just never really utilized it, so I don't know, but I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna come back in tomorrow morning and probably work on it. But I am gonna call it on this vlog. In the next vlog, I'll recap and let you guys know what I ended up doing for like the physical tracking aspect of this. Oh, if you want the sticky note layout thingy, maybe Editing Rachel can put a picture of it on the screen. Editing Rachel, I'm sorry to ask you to do that, but I just can't, because I don't have the edited version of it, and you do. So could you please do that? Thank you. If you want this, wherever she put it, over here, over there, I don't know, probably over there, I don't know, wherever she put it, if you would like that to like be able to print out and use, it will be in my resource library, which is accessible via my newsletter. So just subscribe to my newsletter and it will be accessible there. But if you're already subscribed and you don't have any of my old newsletters, you don't know what to do about that, I will figure that out. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.